Thank you for joining us again on the program. Labor unions in Nigeria have embarked on a nationwide strike to press home demands for new minimum wage for workers. The action, which it calls a warning strike, began on Thursday and involved some workers in Africa's biggest oil industry. Initial response to the strike call appeared lukewarm, but the leadership of the medical and health workers and that of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria directed their members to join the strike.
Nigeria is also the continent's largest economy and the largest exporter of African oil, except that according to the UN, out of 180 million inhabitants, more than 80 million live below the poverty line. More details on the strike to increase the minimum wage.
Alors plus de détails sur cette grève donc qui a pour but d'augmenter le salaire minimum dans le secteur pétrolier.
We now go live to Abuja, Nigeria's capital, where we have our correspondent, Tunji Oye. Thank you for joining us from Abuja this morning, Tunji.
Thank you very much.
Good morning to you. So, Tunji, as of yesterday, Abuja streets were empty with government offices closed. But could you tell us how are things looking like this morning?
Well, there is really no difference between yesterday and today. In fact, the strike action is well pronounced today than yesterday. This is because some workers went to work yesterday hoping that there will be work. But since they were not allowed in, government offices are totally deserted today. All the offices are not opened. The entire business district area of Abuja, which used to be a beehive of commercial and government activity, is just like a ghost area.
Tunji, going by what you've just said, this strike is easily noticeable and is being observed. Now, you attended the meeting between the Labor Union and the Minister of Labor, something that ended in a deadlock on Wednesday. We know they want the minimum wage increased, but the minimum wage hasn't been increased. But what exactly are the other outcomes they expected from this meeting?
Now, the Wednesday meeting between the Labor Union and the federal government, represented by the Minister of Labor, ended in a deadlock. Not because the government did not really increase the minimum wage as the workers desired, but because government did not show commitment to negotiation. Now, Labor Union had, on September 12, issued a 14-day warning to government to reconvene the National Minimum Wage Committee that was assigned to fix the wage. But that did not happen. Now, it might interest you to know that negotiation over a new minimum wage for Nigerian workers started 8 years ago, and it is yet to be concluded. Different governments have used delay tactics over the years not to get the discussion through. So this is why Labor Union is annoyed. They are annoyed that government is deliberately foot-dragging on the matter, and the federal government is not really taking the matter very serious.
Well, negotiations between the unions and the government will resume on October 4. Are there signs the workers will get a new minimum wage?
Yeah, getting a new minimum wage of 56,000 naira, they are demanded. That's about 132 euros. For workers, may slightly be difficult at this period for many reasons. You will can still remember Nigeria is still fighting Boko Haram insurgents in the northern part of the country, where huge funds are being expended. The country is also on the eve of an election year. By 2019, there will be general election, and lots of money is being pumped into the electoral system now for a credible election and security measures during the polls. Now, most importantly, why it is difficult for workers to get a raise at this time is because Nigeria is not just buoyant for now. Now, after coming out of recession, government needs to spend heavily on infrastructural development to create economic activities and increase purchasing power of the people. On this, government is spending a lot on road construction and other infrastructure. Now, as at June ending, the figure released by government showed that Nigeria's debt profile has hit $73.2 billion, while government is still borrowing to finance the 2018 budget, which is 9.2 trillion naira. So practically, it looks pretty difficult for workers in Nigeria to get a pay rise at this period. It seems government cannot just afford it.